Double speed lines are hard to catch, especially with the accent. For sure.
But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered and murdered our savages, colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy.
Pillaged and murdered and colonized all of the rest. Somewhere along those lines. Welcome back, guys. It's me, your boy, Kevin Sains, coming at you one more again with another video reaction. And today we have REN, Money Game. Y'all been waiting for me to watch the Money Game series. I know there's 3 of these videos. We're about to get into the first one today. Last time I did Jenny's Tale, Screech's Tale, and Violet's Tale all in one video. We ain't doing that this time. We're going to break them up so we can have a little bit of a breather in between so we can really let them sink in. But anyway, if you're on that REN train with me, welcome back to the track. We're about to get into this REN Money Game right now. Well, I like that beat already, that rhythm.
It's a strange time we're living in. War can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, stripe, fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose who's fooling who. A ball chain to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole war burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game.
How old is this video? This is 5 years ago. I just, if you guys have ever seen the This Is America video from Childish Gambino, which is a great song, he does a similar thing with shooting the guy whose head is covered up with the sheet and the guitar. So I'm wondering if they just both happen to have the same idea, or if one artist saw it and was inspired and kind of took it on as his own. I'm pretty sure that Childish Gambino's track This Is America would have came out after this, but I'm not 100% on that. Let me know, guys. Let me know. But I just noticed that little similarity. Kind of a similar, like, underground, like, parking garage type of area as well. So, interesting.
Money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm, it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop.
I like this is another one that's actually, you can tell it's the audio is recorded right here in this room, because you can hear the background noise of the room. You can hear his rain poncho kind of rustling around and all that. And just to add another little detail on the This Is America track, he uses an actual gun in that one and really does shoot the dude.
This is America. Don't get you slipping now.
Dude, so a little bit more graphic and a little different in that one. Slapped him.
This old money game. Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate, when they make us believe that everybody is going to terrorize you in the streets. They say badly through gritted teeth. That's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech. It's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate. When they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say badly through gritted teeth. That's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech. But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder that savages colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep. Irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the...
Double speed lines are hard to catch, especially with the accent. For sure.
But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder that savages colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy.
Pillaged and murdered and colonized all of the rest. Somewhere along those lines.
A certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames. You denigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant. Cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent. I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome. And also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat. The same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak. Our opinions are our own and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right. In the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's he.
I know this is probably not what you're wanting me to comment on, but I'm just listening to the audio, and he's still got the same tone of his voice, like it's not distant whenever the camera's further away from him. So unless they have a mic over top that's following him, maybe he did record the vocals somewhere else, and then they also recorded the sounds of what's going on in the room and blended it together perhaps. But this is obviously a very interesting song and driven by politics and right and left and things like that. Seems to be, the politics in America and the politics in England and the UK are pretty similar a lot of the time with the left and right and how things kind of work. There's differences in how our governments operate with Parliament and with Congress and everything like that, but the same kind of left and right. Here you have the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, and there you have the, I guess it's the Labour Party. I don't remember what the other one is. I'm not from England, so my apologies. But I know one's Labour Party. Maybe the other one's just the Liberal Party, perhaps. But in any case, you have very similar types of things. And I think that's kind of similar in probably a lot of places that use that same sort of two-party system, which, in my opinion, isn't the best. You got one of two options. It's sort of like a 50-50, like playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You get a 50-50 option each time. Like, can I get a phone a friend, or maybe like a elimination question here or something? Can we do something different than just the two options? And there is more than two options, but there's the media and everybody kind of decides who gets the screen time. There's plenty of independent candidates out there, but there's a lot of things that need to be revamped in the ways that we choose our leaders, in my opinion. But in any case, back to the video.
Easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're in the veins, but we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. This old money game.
gives you the feeling that they've been down there for months or for years even, and this guy just constantly gets abused, and then it's like, all right, he puts the guitar back in his hand, and he just starts automatically playing again, which is kind of referencing to us being sheep, I guess, a little bit. You're constantly being gnarled at by the wolves, and yet you continue to be sheep. It's an interesting way to express that. Oh, stop it. Uh-oh. I don't think that's Kool-Aid. He's gonna put it on. Oh, I thought he was about to put it on, pour it on himself. Dang, Ren's looking cut up. Oh, he does have an actual. So he does have an actual mic on there. So I guess, yeah, he was walking around with a wireless on. Then it probably is all actually recorded there. Dope. Oh man, I mean, he is going to pour it on himself. There was a Buddhist monk that did this years ago as a protest to war, I believe, and lit himself on fire. That was wild. Well, that was the first video we've seen of Ren's that didn't really deal with personal stuff. I guess you could say the tales of Jenny and Screech and Violet weren't necessarily personal to him, but they were still involving personal lives. They were involving like one, subject, whereas this one is very much more on a broader scale, and how our world and society is affected by all the things that our world and society does, which makes sense, obviously. But yeah, so seeing something like that on a broader scale that touches on some things that can be touchy is pretty interesting. So I won't go too far down those roads. You guys can form your own opinions on how you feel about what he said and what opinions he expressed. And I don't know if I guess he probably did express some opinions in there. But a lot of it is just putting it on display for everyone to kind of look at and make their own self-determinations as to how they feel about those things. So very interesting video, very cool song. Ren always weaves the words very well, and the guitar player with the sheet over the head and everything like that was pretty cool. So that's it for this one. Tomorrow we'll get into Money Game Part 2, and then Thursday will be Money Game Part 3, and then we'll find something cool to end on for Friday. So stick around. We got plenty more Ren coming down the pike. Love you guys. Peace.